Well, I am a modern hero, my name is Paddy Carney. Not long ago I landed from the bogs of sweet Killarney. I used to cry out so fat because that was my trade, sir, till I listed for a soldier boy with Corcoran's brigade, sir, for to fight for Uncle Sam. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars. For once in our regimentals, me mind indeed bewilder. I bid goodbye to Biddy dear and all the darling childer. Wasn't I the Irish volunteers, the devil I one afraid is, because we've got the soldier boy of McClellan for to lead us, for to fight for Uncle Sam. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars. We soon got into battle, we made a charge of bayonets. The rebel blackguards soon gave way, they fell as thick as peanuts. Och, on the slaughter that we made, with that it was delighting. For the Irish lads in action are the devil's boys for fighting. They'll fight for Uncle Sam. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars. Och, sure we never will give in any sort of manner, until the South comes back again beneath the starry banner. And if John Bull should interfere, he'd suffer for it truly, for soon the Irish volunteers would give him Mally Hooly. Oh, they'll fight for Uncle Sam. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars. And now before I end my song, this free advice I'll tender: we soon will use the rebels up and make them all surrender. And once again the stars and stripes will to the breeze be swelling, if Uncle Abe will give us back our darling boy McClellan. We'll follow little Ma. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars.
I was born on a Dublin street where the loyal drums did beat, and those loving English feet, they walked all over us. And every single night when me dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus: come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come, let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you thought him well and truly persecuted. Where are the sneers and jeers that you loudly let us hear when our leaders of 16 were executed? Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come tell us how you slew them old Arabs 2 by 2. Like the Zulus, they had spears and bow and arrows. How bravely you faced one with your 16-pounder gun, and you frightened them damn natives to the marrow. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Now the time is coming fast, and I think them days are here when each English Johnny and he'll run before us. And if there'll be a need, then our kids will say Godspeed with the verse or two of singing this fine chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. I was born on a Dublin street where the loyal drums did beat, and those loving English feet, they walked all over us. And every single night, when me dad would come home tight, he'd invite the neighbours out with this chorus. Come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. Show your wife how you won medals down in Flanders. Tell her how the IRA made you run like hell away from the green and lovely lanes of Killishandra. Come let us hear you tell how you slandered great Parnell when you thought him well and truly
Sorry, I forgot to unmute myself. Let me know how the mic sounds. Hope you guys liked the intro music today. Seemed like people liked it. That intro was created, I forgot to put his name in the description, but it was created by Dose of Marks, who's the guy I met through TikTok who did a lot of like dope wrestling sports related edits for us. So I brought him onto the Midwestern Marks media team, and that was one of the first things that he produced, and I thought it would make a really good intro. So hopefully you guys like it. Mic's good now? Sounds great? Okay, good. Yep, still getting used to, the Streamlabs setup here. It's much better, I think. I'm a big fan of Streamlabs here. I like the transitions. I like that the chat is right here on screen. I like that there's more options than StreamYard. StreamYard's is kind of for amateur streamers. It's good for interviews, but, Streamlabs is mostly superior, so. Ads are on? Jeez. 1 sec. Turning them off. Thanks for the money, though. Hope you guys clicked on them. This isn't even going to be monetized because I played all that music in the beginning. So no need to make you guys watch ads so that they can be sent to some company that files a copyright claim. Off. Sick. Alrighty. So we can start the stream with a personal story. I had some student loan debts that were floating out there. And, the creditor companies, like, they will try hard to contact you, but if you move houses, which I have many times in the last few years, they'll, like, continually just send the same letters to your old house. Because it's better for them if you don't start paying your debts, because then you're going to rack up interest. So I had one of those that I found today, and I was just thinking about the U.S. and how we're all drowning in debt. All the things that are designed to nickel and dime us, like car payments, car insurance, health insurance, paying for repairs on your car because we don't have any public transportation, paying off debts, paying for mortgages, while people in China have 96% home ownership. And it's like, what the U.S. really is? It's that show, The Good Place. Has anyone here seen The Good Place? I assume you have, especially people who like philosophy and just people who like good TV. It's a great show. At least season 1 was amazing. After season 1, it kind of jumped the shark a little bit, but it's still a good show. Very deep philosophical themes. But spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the show. If you haven't seen it and you want to watch it, mute me for the next 5 minutes. But in the show, the whole concept is the main character dies and goes to heaven. And when she gets to heaven, she's welcome there, and she's like, oh, wow, I didn't really think I was a good person in life, but I guess I made it into heaven. I guess I was good enough. And then when she's there, just like everything goes wrong. She's put in awkward social situations, like the worst kind of situations imaginable. Everything's super stressful, and everybody's just like stressed out all the time in heaven. And at the end of the season 1, they find out that they're actually not in heaven, they're in hell, because the devil wanted to try something new by tricking people into thinking that they're in paradise and then actually making their lives hell through, like an abundance of minor inconveniences. And that's America, right? That's America. America is the good place. On the surface, it looks like heaven. You see all these skyscrapers, and you hear about the American dream, and oh my gosh, they can buy 50 different kinds of cereal at the grocery store. This is why capitalism is better than communism. But then you get here, and you actually start living here, and you spend time within the system, just constantly paying off your debts and working and working and working to pay off more debts and pay off more rent. And you realize it's actually hell. I mean, and what better example of that is there than Miami, Florida, where there are a bunch of Cuban emigres who are homeless, right? They bought into this idea that Cuba was evil, communism was evil, and America would offer the American dream. And then they came over here, and America kicked them to the curb. And, sure, they have more options for cereal. If they're able to beg for enough money, they can buy Cheerios. But in Cuba, they would have been guaranteed housing, right? And what is cereal compared to housing? And for those who don't know, Fulgencio Batista, the former dictator of Cuba, before the Communist Revolution overthrew him, his daughter was homeless in Miami. So the former dictator of Cuba's daughter came to the U.S., the country that propped up her father's regime, and she ended up going homeless because it's so hard to live here, and we don't take care of our elderly people at all. And of course, meanwhile in China, the average retirement age is 60. And we're supposed to believe that's a system that doesn't work, and ours is working. It ain't working, folks. Also, by the way, I'm pretty sick today. I've been recovering from a cold. That's why I haven't streamed the past few days. But I took some Aleve, and we're ready to power through it today. I got a roommate who I was just talking about this with. He bought into Hollywood nonsense from India and is learning the hard way. You'd be surprised how many people that happens to, right? Because those countries are infiltrated with all of this U.S. propaganda. All of this propaganda claiming that the American dream is still around and America's this paradise, this city on a hill. And then you get here and you're like, wow, America sucks. 80% of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and all our government wants to do is start new friggin' wars. Big Irish blood. Yeah, baby. Big Allen Iverson blood. Go Sixers. What do we got here? Hoja bait. Eddie, physical health is obviously important to communists. What suggestions would you make to someone starting the gym for the first time? Yes. Good question. Civilize the mind and make savage the body, as Mao would say. The key when you're first starting out is to find consistency, right? It's easy to go into the gym and go balls to the wall for your first 3 workouts, and then you start to get bored and you just quit. You have to find something that's sustainable, right? Discipline isn't about always having fun. It's not always going to be fun to go to the gym. But it's about consistency and doing it anyways, even when you don't want to. So even on your worst days, you should try to go in and do a little something. Like I said, I was very sick today, so I went in and hit a 45, 50-minute lift. Some days when I feel great, I'll do 2 to 3 hours of working out. 2 hours of lifting and an hour of cardio, which is great, and I love those days. But even on the days I don't want to go to the gym, I go in and just do something. And once you establish that consistency, it becomes habit. It's never easy, right? It never becomes super easy to just go every time. You're always going to have to push through slog and fatigue and stuff on certain days. But you do get kind of addicted to it. That's why I had to go today, even though I was sick, because I hadn't been in 2-3 days. And I needed to release some endorphins. And it lowers your cortisol rates, your stress. It just makes you feel better in general. So establish consistency. You don't have to be in the gym for 2-3 hours a day. You don't have to train for the freaking Olympics. You can get a great lift in 45 minutes. And then on the days you feel good, really push yourself and push your limits, because that's what's fun about the gym too, is improving and seeing your numbers go up, seeing your body start to change physically, which provides motivation. But even on those days you don't have motivation, get your butt in the gym and do something. That would be my advice. Thank you for the super chat. Circling Sun, $10 super chat. Thank you, comrade. Hey, Eddie, did you see that clapback Hassan did to Fuentes? Say what you will about his shake your foreign policy takes. Hassan is far more consistent anti-Zionist than the warmonger Nick. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Give me Hassan over Fuentes any day of the week. Absolutely. I mean, Hassan, I've said this on the last 5 streams. There's a based Turkish tanky inside of Hassan that's just begging to come out. And it's being suppressed by the liberal members of his audience. But he has a lot of good takes. His takes on Israel are very good. His takes on China have evolved over the years. I don't know about Russia, But, that's a contentious issue anyways. It's just sad that Hassan is so cucked to the Democrats. He just did a post the other day, and I had a lot of likes on my response to it, where he was saying, I want the Democrats to not be controlled opposition. I want them to be a party that actually fights for the people and blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, we're 6 years removed from Bernie now. 10 years removed from the 2016 Bernie campaign. AOC and Zoran and all of these people have sold out. Zoran sold out after like 3 days in office. Of course, he was sold out before because he was part of the Democrats, but it took no time at all for people to see that he actually wasn't going to push through an anti-Zionist agenda, and he was going to make sure the NYPD were still training with the IDF. It's like, just give it up, man. Give it up. The Democrats don't want to be a socialist party. That's not what they are. They're a neoliberal party run by neoliberal elites. In all the time that you're spending trying to transform the Democrats into something new, you could be building an alternative. You could be building a party that is sovereign from the two-party duopoly. But then when you have a party like that, the ACP, Hassan doesn't seem to like it. And that's where the major source of contention comes from. I think he's based on a lot of issues. But as long as you're controlled by the Democrats, you're kind of just spinning your wheels. You are just spinning your wheels. So, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to see him go more dark woke. I think we're entering the era of dark woke now, where a lot of people like Kyle Kalinske, Hassan Piker, they're going to feel less restrained by the leftist cancel culture bubble bullshit. And they're going to be speaking. I've been watching Kyle Kalinske's show lately, man. He's got good energy. I think Carlos said that the other day, and maybe Haas as well, that Kyle's like ripping these Trump administration officials apart. And not worrying about who he offends with his language, and it's really attractive. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do like listening to him just rail against these douchebags in the Epstein class who rule over our society. Comrade Lulu, join ACP Georgia. Hope you get well soon. Wow, that is so awesome. That is so awesome. I'm really proud of you, Lulu. That makes me happier than you know. Thank you so much for joining. I hope it's everything you dreamed of and more. Let's get to work together, and I know your heart's always been in the right place, so it's great to hear, man. Thank you. Layla, thank you for subscribing. Garrett, thank you for subscribing. Iowa Worker, $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. ML Hassan arc in 2026. Yes, let's go. That's what we need. Imagine, dude. Imagine if freaking Hassan and the deprogram guys just got on board and they were like, screw it. We have our disagreements. We've had our beefs in the past. But these guys clearly are fighting for the right ideas. They clearly have their hearts in the right place. Let's help them build what America needs. It'd be great. It'd be great if Hassan could do what Malumbo did, or even what Rathbone did in supporting the ACP, or what our friends at RBN do in supporting us. I have no respect for grifters like Kyle, Hassan, or Anna. They're fake. I don't. Kyle's got like grifter tendencies, but I really think he's speaking from the heart. I really do. I think he's just he genuinely believes that reformism is the path forward, and that's what I want to have a conversation about Kyle with. Me and Kyle agree on tons of things. He's bad on Russia, but that's like the main area of dispute in terms of politics, substance, policy. But I would love to talk to him about how our country is headed for civil war and how this proves that the reformist strategy is bunk, and we need a revolutionary strategy, because it's not just that excuse me, I'm still sick. It's not just that we take up arms and create a revolution tomorrow by being violent in the streets. No, our country's headed for a civil war anyways. That's going to happen whether we want to or not, and whether we're ready or not. So that's where the revolutionary outlook is superior. And the same thing happened in Russia. You know, it wasn't the Bolsheviks that created the uprising and the overthrow of the Tsar. They just capitalized on that event to lead the way, and offer people a correct theoretical analysis and a theory of where the country should go. Sorry. Russia and China are preparing to release 400 plus classified correspondence documents. Wow. From what? That's awesome. The ACP is uniting the tribes. If you're honest, you will join the party. Yes, I agree. It's only a matter of time before all the honest communists are on the right side. Between Stalin and Mao, based. That's awesome. I will read the shit out of those. You would be better off talking to Jake Shields or Valhalla. Fair. Jake was on Jimmy Dore today. I was pumped to see that. He recently had an argument with Fuentes about Venezuela. He came out against ICE and what they're doing. And now he's hanging out with Jimmy Dore. I mean, I really hope it means he's going in a good direction. Because there's an honest guy. There's someone who's not a grifter. Say what you want about Jake Shields. The guy says what he fucking believes. He is not in it for money. He has gotten unverified on X. He's gotten friggin' canceled from every mainstream media outlet in MMA and politics. Like, he's saying what he believes. He's honest. He's trying to find the truth. So, do you think ACP will grow a lot in 2026? Yeah, knock on wood, I think it'll explode in 2026. We grew a lot in 2028. I mean, 2025, we more than doubled our numbers from when the party was launched. But I think we'll see a great increase in that. But, you know, it's always good to be like, temper your expectations and be self-critical. But yeah, the media team's going to be doing a lot to try and facilitate recruitment, so stay tuned. Super chat from In It For Fun. Thank you, In It For Fun. Working to become a cadre here in Ohio. Edited some videos for ACP's Ohio chapter that should drop soon. Be well, Eddie. Awesome, man. We're going to be in touch, actually, you and me, because one of the initiatives we're trying to do right now, this is kind of like inter-party stuff, but it's whatever. Like, it's not classified information or anything. But we're going to get every chapter in the party their own media department, essentially. Their own mini media department. Make sure that you guys, us and the national media team, are going to make sure you guys have camera, tripod, and some kind of basic editing software. And then we're going to give you templates and all of our training videos. And make sure that every single chapter has the ability to produce media and show the good work that you guys are doing on the ground. Because that's what drives recruitment, right? Originally, when we launched the party, it was a lot of the streams and the internet followings that we had. And that still continues to be a good recruitment mechanism for sure. But what really is the best recruitment mechanism is these videos of our chapters doing good work in their communities. Because this proves that all of the lies and smears about us are just that, lies and smears. If we're evil fascists who want to take over America and implement a white ethno-state, then why would we be in our communities helping people? Why do we have such a diverse group of people in our party? Why would we be putting in all the effort to organize workplaces and communities and truckers and all of this if we weren't genuine, if we didn't care? So those videos, more than anything, help people debunk the lies, because those lies work, you know? The lies work and people are interested in us. There's so many people interested in joining but kind of scared because they don't want to face the social backlash. So nothing helps defeat that more than what you guys are doing on the ground, and then showing that to everybody through videos. So, yeah. Helping people is fascist. Yeah, remember when they said that? Remember when they said that we were cleaning trash off the ground and it was fascist coded? Because we're saying that poor people are trash or something? I don't even know. That was a real thing that was said, though. Which is something else. Something else, dude. Okay, let's jump into the content for today then. One sec, let me pull this up. So, some of you might know Steven Pinker. He's a liberal intellectual. Harvard professor, Harvard scientist. He's one of these behavioral scientists who's like totally bourgeois and full of shit. But he recently made a post about Marxism, basically giving, like, in a lot of words, he was giving the old trope that Marxism has been tried and it didn't work. And then it was like using a bunch of academic jargon so that he could feel like a smart guy. But the reason why I can't show you the post is because Steven Pinker blocked me. And the reason Steven Pinker blocked me is because I said, interesting how all these intellectuals who attack Marxism seem to have deep connections to Jeffrey Epstein. And here's Steven Pinker on video on Epstein's private jet with Epstein, discussing probably a legal case, because I believe Pinker helped with his legal team. So yeah. And he's blocking anybody who shares this. So this just goes to show the state of academia today. These high-up Harvard academics, these pompous bastards who are buddies with Epstein are scared of me. Little old me in my Sixers jersey on Twitter, calling them pedos. That's what they're terrified of. And because of stuff like this, my X has been growing like crazy lately. A lot of right-wing followers and a lot of left-wing followers. But this goes to show that the Epstein class is bipartisan. I believe Pinker considers himself to be like a liberal. But they all do the same shit. They attack communism and they hang out on Epstein's island. Liberals and conservative elites alike. One sec. I can prove that he blocked me. There it is. Another pedophile to the victims of Eddie Liger Foundation. Pinker supports the fall of communism because it led to the creation of more child sex trafficking rings in East Europe. But at least they don't have socialism. Sure, they're stealing orphans and sending them to Epstein's island, but at least they're free of socialism and universal health care and housing. Insanity. We literally live in a Twilight Zone episode, dude. Some kind of firefighter drone attack in Niger today. Interesting. Hopefully it didn't go bad. Which story should we do next? Let's do this one next. Since we're talking about just like random Twitter drama. Or funny things that happened on Twitter this week. So has anyone seen this Red Misha account on X? It's like, you know, a conventionally attractive woman in the profile picture. And she's a so-called Marxist-Leninist, but she hates the ACP and hates anybody who's not basically a liberal. And then this is the profile picture. So she's gained a lot of followers using this profile picture. Come for the politics, stay for my sunny personality. Free Palestine, feel free to join my Discord for politics. Marxist-Leninist, do not DM. Do not DM because I'm not real. I'm not a real person. I'm a fat Reddit moderator sweating behind a keyboard pretending to be an Instagram model. Because this picture is an AI-edited photo of an Instagram model named Brianna Romero. So this person has been shitting on ACP for years, or I mean, I guess since the party was founded, garnering an audience of loser leftists by shitting on us, and it turns out that it was some Reddit mod pretending to be a woman, pretending to be an Instagram model. Talk about the worst catfish ever, am I right? So this is just wild, because this girl is like all over our mentions, or this guy is like all over our mentions. talking shit, and then it turns out they're a fake person, and they haven't addressed it at all. They haven't addressed the controversy. They just haven't tweeted in like 2 days. If you have been catfished by Red Misha, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Let's see if we can find her account. She might have me blocked. I don't think so, though. Yes. Yeah, so ever since we exposed her for this, because it was ACP people who exposed her, she hasn't posted once. Actually, I think she posted this, which was now 3 days ago. No response, no attempt to justify it, no attempt to explain it. They just got nuked off the face of X. Because we exposed that it's a catfish. Oh my gosh. And look at the responses. LOL. Brianna Romero. Apologize to the innocent woman whose likeness you stole. Address me, the elephant in the room. It's over. CIA director, WTF, another fake ID blown. You're fired. Yeah, and that's what this could be. It could be a weird Reddit moderator looking for attention, like a literal catfish, or it could be a Fed, you know, pretending to be some random woman, and they thought nobody would notice. Why did you steal this woman's identity? Oh my goodness, it's so funny, dude. Talk about karma, am I right? This person did nothing but attack us, and then they just got nuked with one post. Intermediary Fossil 7163, $50 super chat says, feel better, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. That is an extremely generous super chat. Of course, we don't get any corporate donations, so I appreciate everything that you, the audience, sends into us. Promise to use that money well. Maybe I'll go buy some vitamin C, because you could probably hear in my voice that I'm still a little sick, but I'll feel better over the next 2 days for sure. I'm on the back end of the cold now. My nose was all plugged. I couldn't sleep last night, but we're getting better. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate you, bro. Catfish fed. Great counter intel work. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What next? Let's do the Erika Kirk story next, but because I'm sick, I gotta go grab some warm water, some tea or something. So I'll pull up an intermission video here real quick. One second. The amount of times I've gone to wrestling practices sick, this is like nothing. I just hate missing anything. I just pretend I'm not sick until it goes away as much as I can. I could play my brother's matches. You guys have seen a lot of mine already. Here's me wrestling the returning national runner-up. It's not the most exciting... Well, it is an exciting match, actually. It went into overtime. But it's not the most dominant match. But it's a good one. Alright, enjoy. I'll be back with some water to soothe my swollen, blistery throat. Should I play some music? I don't have any music on this Streamlabs source. Alright, you'll have to watch it without music. There's no sound. I'm back. By the way, if you guys don't have an electric tea kettle, highly recommend. Easy, makes it easy to make tea, makes it easy to make warm water, and then you should also drink warm water in the morning. It's something I've been doing recently from my girlfriend's advice, and it makes you feel a lot better. This is my favorite move here, by the way. It's called the head in the hole. This is one of the best kids I ever hit it on. I beat one kid this year who was even better than this kid, but this kid was good. National runner-up. This match goes into overtime, and I eventually win. It was one of the craziest matches of my life. I also did some stupid stuff, and like it shouldn't have gone into overtime. I had more takedowns than him, and I gave up like some reversal at the end of the period or something to screw myself. Idiot. But that's all right. That's why I teach my kids to end every period on top. I didn't close my door all the way. Hold up. Don't want to wake anybody up. Do people in the chat have electric tea kettles? You guys have those? They're sick, right? You can also do coffee every morning. That's how I cut back on energy drinks. Was I got a pour over coffee, and I can just cook it up on the tea kettle and make a huge ass pot of coffee. Because I'm a caffeine addict. If you don't like the stream, you're a Zionist. Hell yeah, bro. Any workout advice? I gave some earlier. Let me think if I can think of some different workout advice. Here's a good one. Do cardio. Like, everybody should do cardio, even big bodybuilders. Even maybe power lifters. I don't know. Maybe cardio's not good for power lifters, but most people should do cardio. But find something that you enjoy doing. Like, for me, it's wrestling. When I'm wrestling, it doesn't feel like working out. I'm just thinking about the technique and pushing myself and winning. Find some people to play basketball with, to go to the park with and play basketball. Carlos and I love playing basketball when we're together. Or go to the batting cages and hit baseballs. That's not that cardio intensive, but you're burning calories. You're up. You're breathing fresh air. Go for walks, right? Sometimes you need to run, right? Walking doesn't give you the same cardiovascular benefits as running, but you still burn a lot of calories, and it can help you digest if you walk after you eat. Walk the dog, right? There are really good, healthy activities that aren't sitting down playing video games or doom scrolling through your phone, although I'm guilty of doing that from time to time. The Witcher 3 is the most addictive and fun video game I've ever played in my life. Holy shit. But either way, find some things that are fun to do and probably with other people. And if you're in the ACP, like a lot of the chapters, especially California, are doing workouts together. They're doing grappling. That'd be a good idea. Join a jiu-jitsu class, right? Jiu-jitsu's not as harsh on the body as wrestling. Even if you're a little older, you can do it. So... Don't forget to do Krav Maga as well. F Krav Maga. Krav Maga's a IDF recruiting scam. They just stole all the best moves from the other martial arts and said, we invented this. Which is really the most stereotypical Israeli way to do martial arts. We're just going to steal the other countries and say that it's our own and we invented it all. Bro, you got to start playing Witcher 3 on stream. That would be fun, man. I've been so busy lately, and, video games are like my way to relax and decompress. I don't really want to be entertaining people. But maybe I'll bring back the gaming streams at some point. We could play some Witcher 3, because, dude, I could play that game for hours. I have been playing that game for hours. I've been staying up a little bit too late lately playing Witcher 3. It's a little bit politically nihilistic for my liking, but still, what an incredible game. It's amazing that the technology to even make a game like that exists. I didn't play many video games for like 6 years, and then when I started like working really, really hard for Midwestern Marks and coaching wrestling, I started playing a little bit because I had been spending all that free time scrolling on Twitter and stuff, and video games aren't the most healthy thing, but I think they're more healthy than doom scrolling. Like, you can, especially a game like The Witcher, there's a story, there's a lot of reading, you're focused on one thing at a time, rather than, thing. So it made my brain, I realized video games made my brain feel better than doom scrolling did. So I started playing again, and I was like, holy shit, the technology on these things has gotten insane. The level of games nowadays are sick. It's amazing what they can do. And I only play the best games, right? I'm not like a hardcore gamer, so I just play like Baldur's Gate or Elder Scrolls or Witcher 3 or Elden Ring. Those are some of the games I've played over the last few years. And I only play one game at a time, so I don't want to just be jumping around. Like I said, I like that it gets you to focus on one thing for a while. And I'm just really impressed by the technology. But then, of course, you also have, like, 90% of games are filled with microtransactions, and they've been ruined by these profit-hungry game studios who rush them out before they're ready in order to make money or force their developers to cut corners. And that's why there's so many good indie games nowadays, because developers are sick of that. So there's also that, which is why all my videos that I do about video games go viral, because everybody agrees that these gaming companies are greedy and selfish. But I play Suzerain full ARP. I don't know what that is. Is it good? I think I'll probably play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 next. And then I'll play Cyberpunk or whatever it's called. That CD Projekt Red game. Suzerain. Oh, is it like a strategy game? Yeah, I've never been able to get into those. I tried to play that one game that people were mad at because they said communism was overpowered. It's like Victoria 3 or something. But I was too stupid for it, and I didn't have the effort to learn how to really play. Love those strategy games in indie. Well, there you go, Lennon Dubois. Hit me up and you can teach me how to play those strategy games. I'd play with you. If you could help me learn how to do it, that'd be fun. How's Assassin's Creed, by the way? That's one of my favorite series, man. Video games are a great way to de-stress. You just can't let them become too much of an addiction. A little bit of addiction's alright. I just have an addictive personality. I just try to stay addicted to healthy things. Addictive personality. I don't know if that's even real, but... Alright, let's get into our main event, shall we? No more Twitter drama. Let's talk about what we came here to talk about. So for those of you who didn't see the last few streams, I recently covered, not only on our show, but then Jackson Hinkle, my good buddy, one of the most solid, upright dudes that I know, he also had me on his show to talk about Erika Kirk's Romanian orphanage because of what he saw on my show. So Erika Kirk, when she was 17, had this orphanage in Romania that was inviting in colonels and military personnel from a local military base that was then accused by a translator there and many people in the Polish media and in that region of trafficking children. So she was bringing alleged traffickers around orphans who didn't have parents to protect them. When, who the hell owns an orphanage when they're 17? Unless it's actually owned by your parents who are connected to intelligence agencies. Unless you're just a puppet of intel agencies. So anyways, and that was before she met Charlie Kirk at a Turning Point USA event when she was applying to be a part of the company. In Israel. They met in Israel. That's real. So recently, I'll get to the super chats in a sec, by the way. Recently, Candace Owens released a leaked audio of Erika Kirk just 11 days after her husband's assassination, talking about how his memorial event went. And just for a second, before we hit play here, could you try to imagine the state of mind that you would be in if your beloved spouse, the father or mother of your children, had been shot in the neck 11 days ago in front of the whole world. Could you imagine the level of distress? You wouldn't be able to work, right? Probably for weeks you would be grieving. You would be trying to take your mind off it any way possible and failing over and over again. I mean, that's how I felt when my first cousin died when I was younger. I felt like I was in a bad dream for a month. I kept like expecting to wake up and find out that it was a dream and he was still alive. Like living a nightmare. And, you know, that was my cousin, who I was close with, but still a cousin. Imagine your spouse, the father of your children. You would be the alleged father of your children. I would be mentally broken. I would be distraught. I'd be like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm not doing this Zoom call today. I'm going to go cry in my bedroom. So, now that you've thought about that and how you would react to your spouse dying 11 days ago, let's see how Erika Kirk reacted. Oh, I think I... Okay, now it should play, I hope. How do I get this to play here? One sec. Wait, can you guys hear it? I feel like you probably can't. Here we go. This should work.
Oh, I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of a century, like, it's just insane. We had over 275,000 people.
The event of the century, and she laughs. She laughs. Low audio, yeah, it's kind of poor quality because it's leaked. But I'll turn it up as much as I possibly can here. Yeah. But I was effed up for years after my BFF died at 21. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Zoya, but absolutely. I think that's how a normal person would react to a loved one dying. It doesn't just go away. You don't just get over it and move on. You know, you can eventually, but, like, it always affects you. It's always with you. There will always be things that happen in my life where I think of my cousin Ryan who died. Like, and that was, I don't know, years ago now. I was in middle school when it happened. And I still think about him all the time, right? It changed the way that I looked at life. To just be like, we pulled off the event of the century. Go team. Wish my husband was here. Dab the tears. Or perhaps put fake tears in your eyes, maybe. Who knows what she was doing.
That attended, and the stadium, overflow, Westgate.
Event of the century when Coachella 2016 happened? Yeah, or when Astroworld happened? Come on. There's another Erika Kirk video days after Kirk died. Pretty bad. Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's just weird. It's creeping out people in my family who are, like, apolitical. They're watching this and they're like, what is going on here?
Insane, you guys. And then you have, was it 100 million?
Over 100 million.
You guys that heard the gospel and all about Charlie and all about everything that you guys do and the hard work of Turning Point USA is insane. We had thousands that were registered to vote. I think we're at like over 200,000 for merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But I just wanted to say a huge, huge, huge thank you to the events team.
I just see people in the chat giving their experiences of losing a loved one and how much it messed them up. Like, yeah, is that not normal? Like, I think we all have that in common, where if someone we truly love died, we would be distraught. And I think she's either some kind of asset. Someone says convinced she's an asset. I kind of lean towards that. And you might think that's conspiratorial and crazy, but that Israel and Mossad have done honeypots in the past on very, very prominent people. And Charlie Kirk basically ran the youth wing of the Republican Party and was thinking about turning on Israel at the end. And if he did, it would have been a disaster for Israel. They would have lost all of the youth within the Republican Party. So that's possible. Or she's just like a narcissistic person who didn't actually love him. And she felt like relieved when he died because she was just with him for the money and power. It's one of the two or both. And it's really sad. Poor guy.
The development team, the graphic design team, the production team, it's just phenomenal. Their incredible work leading into the memorial. And honestly, a lot of the staff that worked on the memorial, they had 20-hour days for a week during the time of us grieving the loss of my husband. And honestly, I know several staff that didn't even sleep. Again,
Bumps Johnson says none of you people have spouses and probably never will. Lonely, miserable freak cowards. Okay, Bumps. Like my girlfriend isn't in the other room right now. Yeah, I'm just ugly, guys. I can't attract any women. I'm just lonely. That's my problem in life.
you guys are breathing angels, and I'm so grateful for all of you. And obviously, a huge thank you to the Mosaic team. VI, you guys are 10 out of 10. Like, we have the most incredible team. We just do. And you guys know that, and you guys are all a part of that. And I am so, so thankful. And if you do have a moment and you run into any of those staff members that you know had a role in this, and that they put a lot of their time and effort into it, just say thank you. There's something really special to be seen in moments like this, and it's not easy. I'm speaking from experience.
There's something really special to be seen. There's an opportunity to grift when moments like this happen. You can seize your husband's company and make millions of dollars in merch sales when something like this happens, and it's just really great. I mean, it's sad, but great. And
I'm right in the trenches with you guys. And so the fact that you just, a simple thank you. I don't care if any of you have beef with each other from the past or have any issues with someone said something about this or that. Like, if you guys have any of that, please put it to rest. My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead. And it puts life into perspective of how short life is and relationships, and God puts people.
he's dead, okay? So just move on already. It's not even that big of a deal, okay? Who even really cares?
In your life for a reason, and it teaches you a lesson, it teaches them a lesson. So if you are going through a time where, just lay it to rest, and we are moving forward, Turning Point USA 2.0 with Charlie.
So this isn't even the worst video. I grabbed the wrong one, I think. Where's the other one? Here we go. This one's the most wild, I think.
Things were still in motion and moving around, that we had our leadership teams provide for you counselors, pastors. I heard there were therapy dogs. Slightly jealous that I didn't get to have any moment with a therapy dog. Breakfast. I was really adamant about making sure that we paid for your flights, for your spouses to be there. That was something on my heart.
Why doesn't she need a counselor or therapy? Why is she the one making sure that Turning Point USA employees have therapy dogs and stuff? They're just employees. Okay, yeah, I'm sure they were sad that the guy who inspired them to join TPUSA died, but he was your husband. Why are you organizing counselors for everyone else? If you don't know, when someone's grieving, especially a wife, usually the community comes together to help them and give them food and be around them and take care of them and help them grieve because they're so sad. It's very hard to do anything. You just want to sit there and be sad. So the community comes together and takes care of you. This is also proof that humans are collective animals, right? We're not individualistic. In our darkest times, we lean on other people and they help take care of us, because even the strongest among us, even the most capable, intelligent human beings have really dark times where they don't feel like they can do anything. They're not Romanian orphans, Eddie. um, so the fact that she's the one organizing counselors and therapy dogs for the employees, it's like, why don't you need a counselor? Your husband died. They just lost their boss.
You don't want to grieve alone. No one's supposed to grieve alone. It's not healthy. But I just think it's a beautiful honor that all of these benefits were made for the community to grieve and remember Charlie. And I really hope you took advantage of those in a healthy way when they were provided, because it's meant to be for everyone, for healing. Grief comes in waves. Some days are going to be tough.
Grief comes in waves. Still hasn't hit me yet, but I'm sure it will. I'm sure it's just around the corner. I'm not very sad right now, but, it's been 11 days. It's in the past, okay? Move on, people.
Than others, but, take it as it comes. And that's why you have your Turning Point family, and just lean on them and lean on other people in your life that will help you and pour into you and pray with you to get you through it. I say that, though, that if you do need more time to grieve, please continue to use Turning Point USA's network of counselors.
Why don't you need time to grieve? Why are you on a conference call 11 days after your husband got shot in the neck? Why are you even working right now? She's telling the employees, if you need more time off to grieve, you can take PTO and use TPUSA's counselors. Why would they need more time than you? It's your husband. They're just employees. This is so weird, dude. I swear this is so weird. Opera super chatted $10. Thank you, Opera. I want to join the ACP, but my parents live outside the country, and I'm worried I'll be blocked from traveling internationally to see them once ACP gets more prominent in the future. I understand. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. But you can still join up as a reserve member and kind of keep it under wraps, right? You'll probably be on a Palantir list, but I understand that. You can still donate to the party and support us from the outside. And do great work. I totally understand the fear of that. We've told, anybody who's like, even immigrants with green cards, we've just said, be careful, because they could easily send ICE to your door and kick you out of the country because you put a target on your back. So just support the party from the outside. But thank you very much, Opera, for supporting us and for the $10 super chat. What I'm going to do next time for Streamlabs is I'm going to set up alerts so that anytime somebody sends a super chat, it shows up on the screen and makes a little ding. I forgot that you can do that, but yeah. And thank you, Jen Becker, for subscribing to the YouTube.
We have pastors. I mean, there are so many resources for you. If you do need additional time off, please talk to your director about using paid time off for that. And again, it's not easy, but again, grief is hard.
It's like she remembered that she had to be sad for a second and was like, and grief is hard. Yeah, really hard. So anyways, someone says it's crazy how lifelong Charlie Kirk hater Nick Fuentes opportunistically crying about Kirk's death is more convincingly sorrowful than Erika Kirk ever was while she was in mourning. Very true, and that was so opportunistic, dude. Fuentes just hopped on that to try and ingratiate himself in the Republican establishment like a freaking scumbag. But yeah, I mean, Fuentes is an actor. He's a theater kid who's now doing politics, and he's probably working for the French government or something. So that was a hilarious comment. Thank you for that.
Otherwise, honestly, Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action, full steam ahead, you guys.
Sorry, Zoya says, I guess trafficking children really hardens you. I guess so. It hardens one's heart. Who'd have guessed? Yeah, this is what I point to stuff like this when people say they push this thesis, the one-dimensional man thesis of Herbert Marcuse, which says that there's no difference in culture anymore between the bourgeoisie and the workers. It's like, the hell are you talking about? There isn't no difference in culture. Yeah, I don't see any working people going to Mar-a-Lago and dressing up in furry costumes and having a furry party. Weird, eyes wide shut sex party. I don't see working class people reacting like they're happy when their spouse gets shot in the neck. I only see the bourgeoisie doing this weird shit. And it's hard for us to even wrap our heads around as workers because we do love our communities and our families and the people in our lives and our friends. So when somebody's acting like this, with this bourgeois, selfish, individualistic consciousness, this unempathetic consciousness, it's like, ugh, what the hell's going on here? So yeah, that idea that we as working class people just think the same as them and have the same ideas and interests. No, there is still a proletarian culture which is much more collectivist and loving and positive and real than this weird bourgeois pageantry that they do.
Full steam ahead, you guys. Charlie would want us to get back to work, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we did with the memorial, and I'm so honored and proud of each and every one of you because that's what we're going to do in his honor and in his name.
It's full steam ahead, you guys. I am the captain now. Look at me. I am the TPUSA captain now. Full speed ahead behind me. I've got this now. TPUSA belongs to Israel. Erika belongs to Erika. We need to keep working.
We have so much to do, which is exciting. Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule then, just you wait. And he's doing some awesome things with Jesus in heaven right now, but there's so much work to be done. I mean,
you thought you had a busy schedule before, but now you're working for Erika.
Since his assassination, we have 100,000 chapter requests. We have 300,000 new donors. That is
all those Israeli donors who left TPUSA when Charlie was becoming critical of Israel, they all came flooding back. Thank you, Jesus. What a blessing from God. We got more genocidal, pedophilic, billionaire donors. Thank you, Lord. I hate how these people take Christianity and just make a mockery of it and use it to promote the most evil shit.
Blessing in itself. Again, not normal. All God. I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill.
The merch, bro. The merch. You can't bring up merch sales that were created by your husband's death, bro. You can't celebrate the merch that you sold at his memorial. Why were you even selling merch? Insert that picture of Jesus in the temple, whipping people and kicking over their tables because they were using the temple to make profit. You're doing that with your husband's death. And with a religious, supposedly Christian event. You can't brag about... Erika, Kirk, I know you're a cyborg and a sociopath, so you don't understand this. But you can't brag about hat orders or merch sales like you're a money-hungry YouTuber at your husband's memorial. That is disturbing. All that is holy is profaned. All that is solid melts into air. There's nothing holy under capitalism. It's just all about the pursuit of money. Even when your husband dies, it's an opportunity to make that guap.
I mean, I'm saying these numbers because it puts into perspective that we're not just sitting and thinking and looking at the wall being like, what do we do? Like that, there is so much to do. You have over 20,000 AmFest registrations.
Sorry, I'm muted. I just deeply disturbing. Someone says, "Yeah, it's all I can say at this point." Like, what am I even supposed to say about that any more than what I said? It's just weird, and it points to something deeply nefarious, right? Allegedly, the possibility of something deeply nefarious. We don't know for sure what's going on behind the scenes. But we do know that honeypot operations exist. We know that they met in Israel. We know that Erika Kirk's parents are basically ghosts. Erika Franzwe's parents are basically ghosts, but that they worked with tech and security and intelligence. Muted by Mossad, yeah. So, it's a little bit weird. It's more than a little bit weird. It's deeply disturbing. We are getting so many follows on Facebook right now. This is sick. Welcome to all the new Facebook followers. Unfortunately, I have the wrong tax classification for Midwestern Marks on Facebook, so we could be making money from it, but we're not right now. So I got to get that changed ASAP, so we can take money from Mark Zuckerberg, because our content is blowing up over there. I think Facebook is Carlos's best app because it's filled with boomers who actually read books. So I got something else for you. More pantomime segments, yeah. You and Haas inherited Parenti's mic. We did, yes. Yellow Parenti gave us his microphone. His struggles with the microphone. So Eddie, I have an unreleased art project I'd like your opinion on. Yeah, I said earlier in the chat. I don't know if you saw it, but I said send it to me. I want to see it. I really want to see it. Probably, if you have me on Telegram, that would be the best place to do so. I check my Telegram messages daily, or at least weekly, when it comes to, I have a million Telegram messages a day, but every once in a while, like once a week, I go through and check what all of the cadre and the people who aren't in leadership have sent me, and respond. So Telegram would be the best. You can send me an XDM. I'll see it eventually. Instagram DM, or if you really, really, really want me to see it, actually, send it to midwesternmarks@gmail.com, like attached, or whatever. I don't know what it is, so I don't know if you can attach it, but yeah, I really want to see that. I'm a big fan of revolutionary art, like this, This is the worst book I've ever read in my life. My dad got it from someone who gave it to me. It is literally written by the CIA. Let me read you the preface here. This book is about revolutions, not the violent kind. Those usually end up soaked in the blood of innocent people, and not the type carried forth by a small group of zealots. If you wonder how those work, curl up with a good biography of Lenin. Instead, this is a book about the kind of movements that are now sweeping through so much of the world. Kairos, Tahrir Square, U.S. Color Revolution coup effort, Occupy Wall Street. It's a book about revolutions launched by ordinary people who believe that if they get together and think creatively, they can topple dictators and correct injustices. Chapter 1. It can never happen here. So the examples of successful nonviolent revolutions are the overthrow of Yugoslavia, the overthrow of the Libyan government that brought slavery back to the country. It's like every example he gives of a successful revolution is a U.S. coup effort or color revolution effort. So, Dad, if you're watching this, thank you for that. It was gave me a good laugh. No, the CIA can't write. Yeah, true. Okay, so this is another thing I saw. This is from... thank you for subscribing, JJ Hawkins. So this is from Sam Parker, who's like a total JQer, white nationalist guy. Not worth a follow, honestly. But he posted something really interesting that I think he got from Candace. Actually, an evil book, bro. Actually, like, no, it's like... I was amazed. Usually these books my dad gives me, I have criticisms of them, and he usually gets them from like other teachers and stuff, and then gives them to me because he's not going to read them, or if he's not going to read them, and he likes to hear my criticisms and my analysis of them. But this book, I was like, bro, this one blew my mind how bad it was. Actually evil. Anyways, this guy. posted a video of a Turning Point USA employee getting fired. I'm assuming after Charlie Kirk died, under the reign of Erika Kirk. And the video was very heartless and very weird. I don't know what he said. Sorry, I was misreading something in the chat. I got to FaceTime with Michael Parenti. I didn't have enough money at the time to go visit him in New York, but I was invited by Christian, me and a couple friends, to go visit him in New York. I should have just told you guys. I should have just told the audience that was happening. I know you all would have fundraised for it. I missed my chance to meet my hero, but I did get to FaceTime him, and he was like smiling, such a nice old man. He was dealing with, cognitive decline at that point, which possibly was increased by the police beatings that he suffered when he was part of the student protests at his university, and basically got blackballed from the college for supporting the students. But anyways, so this is the smug, tubby TPUSA employee, Frank Carney, who is firing this employee in the video I'm about to show you. Looks just about what you'd expect from a TPUSA higher-up. But this woman who's getting fired recorded her firing, and it is wild. This is TPUSA under Erika Kirk, everybody.
Frank, this is kind of wild.
I understand where you're coming from.
I know, and I know best to be here, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I'm not really content leaving for the day without further documentation, explanation, anything.
I understand, but it's time to go, and we're just gonna say today's the last day, and that's what we're gonna operate now.
And there's nothing else y'all are going to offer me or plan to offer me.
No, I'll send you an email about off-boarding instructions that essentially outlines rates to teach it. So it's not more, and then detailing the pay and receive out.
And you will receive your year-end bonus from your performance for the year, so that will be in that paycheck too.
Okay.
I wish I could get
So,
subtitles on
I
this.
mean,
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming
No,
from.
and I know you're going to keep saying that. I
Yeah.
understand. Like, I know that.
No, I know.
And I know there's probably no magic string of words that I could piece together to procure some type of answer. But
Yeah.
I think on a surface level, like, I'm not going to walk out of here until I say my piece. Like, I mean, y'all know this. I just worked a series of 80, 90-hour weeks plus for MFest.
Yeah, I think
I've had no direction or explanation since we've come back. Our CEO has been assassinated. I've done nothing but
She was working 80-hour weeks for AmFest. Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and she just got the boot. I don't know if she was criticizing Israel. I don't know what, because they won't give this woman any kind of explanation as to why she's getting fired.
bending over backwards for this organization to the point where I'm wondering if this is a prank.
it's not a prank. I would never do that.
So I'm just trying to understand. And
No, I understand. It's time to.
so do
it's
I
time
get to have a conversation with Dylan? Do I get to have a conversation with Justin or anybody? Or
Nope.
no? And there's no explanation as to why I'm going to let go.
Right
Despite,
right now, we're leaving all.
and you're going to keep saying a different direction, but I'm trying to understand how I've met multiple times with my.
We're going a different direction with the team, and I have to ask you to leave now.
You have to ask me to leave the property?
Yes,
Due to what, Frank?
because we're asking you to leave because you've been terminated and we're not.
But there's no.
No explanation whatsoever. We're just asking you to leave. Who knows what's going on here? My first suspicion would be a purge of any critical voices within the company, especially those critical of Israel. That would be my first guess. But it's wild. It's got to be some weird reason like that, because they cannot give this lady any semblance of an explanation.
There's no explanation or documentation for this. I've never had one bad review from Dylan. I've never had one issue with the company. I've never done anything unethical. And so I'm sitting here understanding why my entire livelihood is being completely tossed out. I mean, I sat
No,
in this chair.
you're gonna do great things.
No, and I
your
plan
livelihood-
to.
I don't think your livelihood's being tossed out. I think you're
Well-
very successful.
Well, my paycheck every other week is being tossed out, Frank, with absolutely no warning whatsoever.
I understand. At this time, it's time for you to.
It's time for me to go. Why? Like this
Because-
is the
because
treatment that Turning Point is offering now.
It's time to go farther.
Frank, this is crazy.
Yeah. I understand where you're coming from.
I don't think you do. This feels very heartless. This feels without emotion.
I do understand where you're coming
This feels completely without.
Why? Because you need to leave. Because I'm Frank. Charlie came back as an angel, and he told me to fire you, and that you need to start supporting Israel. So you better listen. He spoke to me in a dream.
from. I understand where you're coming from. But at this time, I have to ask you.
Frank, I'm really not content doing that.
Okay.
Because I know that when I leave there, my credential's not going to get back in, and I'm never going to have the opportunity to speak with somebody at this company as to why I'm being terminated after never having my performance questioned, after never doing anything wrong, after working tirelessly through the death of Charlie. This is wild. And you can, that's completely unsatisfactory. And so I have to come home tonight with no plan, no understanding, asking for clarity multiple weeks in a row. And I'm confused. I sat in your office when that whole GC situation happened. And you said, and I quote, that if you don't get that job, I'm going to personally think that you got screwed over. And now I'm sitting here and I'm getting screwed over in a completely different capacity with no explanation.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but at this time,
So there's going to be absolutely no explanation as to why I'm terminated. So when I go to my next job, I can explain as to why this chapter is closed.
we're going in a different direction.
That's not an explanation, Frank.
It's the explanation that we're providing now
Providing from who?
from the organization.
We're going a different direction. A pro-Israel direction. It's got to be Israel, right? This lady must be someone who pushed back behind the scenes or was starting to question Israel. It's the only explanation I could think of. Otherwise, why wouldn't they say it? Like, well, there's this and there's that, and, our hands are tied. We have to make this decision. You weren't getting enough work done. You were causing problems in the workplace. They didn't even have an excuse lined up. They just said, we're going a different direction, and kicked her out. It's got to be Israel, dude. It's the Lord working through me, yes. It's the Lord working through Frank. This guy. This is who the Lord works through right here. Frank. He's just nuts. It's just weird. Very weird what's going on over there right now, man. Very, very weird. And I don't know what to make of it, but it seems like Israel's involved. I don't know what you guys think, but I feel like a lot of us are on the same page with suspecting that. I look like an emo kid right now. I need a freaking haircut. Dad, quit telling me what to do. I'm changing my name to Blade. I'm a communist because I hate my parents. Corvid Conquest. Okay, this is really interesting. I was thinking about this before and how to answer this. Corvid sent a $10 super chat. Thank you, Corvid. Apparently gold and silver are exploding in price. Eddie, do you think this might be a sign that the U.S. economy is in a dangerous position or might collapse? If not, what would this otherwise mean? I'm trying to think about it. Because if U.S. dollar hegemony was collapsing, I don't want to be hyperbolic and say that's absolutely what's happening, but if U.S. dollar hegemony was collapsing, it would increase the price of gold because the demand for gold would increase. Because gold is very stable, and even though we don't have the gold standard anymore, its value is still very stable and it's tangible, unlike U.S. fiat currency, which could dissolve overnight. So it could be, but I would need to look more into it and see all the different factors. When you're talking about a specific economic issue like that, there's a million different things that could be affecting it or causing it. But it's an interesting question that I'll have to think about more and look into. It very well could mean that, but it could be other things too. It could be just that Alex Jones is, selling a bunch of gold, and everybody wants Alex Jones gold so bad that the demand has gone up and the price has skyrocketed. Or maybe the supply, it could happen if the supply of gold decreased for some random reason. Capitalism needs constant resets. Yep. The business cycle. We just got to accept that the economy crashes every 10 years and thousands of people die of poverty and get foreclosed on their homes. It's the only way. It's the only way forward, even though China was one of the only countries with an increasing GDP during the 2008 crisis. Yeah, we got to be headed for some kind of disastrous economic crisis the way things are moving. And the rate at which they're funneling money into the big banks and trying to open up new markets of investment in places like Venezuela and find new ways of extracting rent and debt profits from other countries that have kicked out U.S. shareholders and banks. It's definitely them trying to avoid a crisis and keep themselves stabilized. Come on, Nose. Stick with me, Nose. Don't clog up on me now. We still got to finish the stream. So very interesting question, Corvid, and that is a question that I will be looking into after the stream with some research, and I will get back to you. By the way, we didn't get to memorialize Dr. Parenti, but rest in peace. Rest in peace to the GOAT, one of my own personal heroes. One of the people who changed my life and the way that I view the world. One of those people that I started listening to early in my political journey and enjoyed listening to him just as much. Like, over the last few years, I had been reading all of Parenti's books. I had been trying to read every single one of them. I have so many of them on my shelf and so many of them that I've given away to friends and family. I have a couple signed copies that he sent me. Shout out to the man. So... yeah, just a hero, and I think that's true for a lot of you in my audience, that he truly transformed the way that you see the world. So, shout out to the man. Come on, Nose, hang in there. Yeah, there's so many good videos on YouTube of him. If you haven't ever listened to the man lecture or read his books, please pick one up. Or at least listen to his short lecture. They're so good, man. Where's the one on capital accumulation?
Of capitalism that it must expand. A no-growth capitalism, as some of our more naive ecologists have argued for, is a contradiction in terms. The reason you invest is to accumulate. And your accumulation of capital has no purpose or meaning unless you can mix it with labor to yet increase your wealth further. And of course you use large sums of it for personal consumption and for political power and for control of your culture and for that wonderful, good, happy life that you so like. Now that nature of expansion really affects the nature of, it's an important imperative because it means capitalism also can never stay home. It goes abroad. If you ever saw the film Controlling Interest, there's a corporate president who says, those corporations that stayed regional in New England years ago and decided not to go national, we can't even remember their names. They died. We had to go national. And those of us who are now national know we have to go international. We have to invest abroad. So one of the laws of capitalist motion and development is this inexorable expansion. And that means expansion into an expropriation of the third world. A process that's been going on for about 400 years, perpetrated by the Portuguese, the Spaniards, the Dutch, the Belgians, the French, the English, and most recently, most successfully, most impressively, by the Americans. That is by the ruling classes of these countries, not by the ordinary people. The ordinary people simply paid the costs of empire. The ordinary people simply sent their sons off to die on the plains of India or in the jungles of the Congo or in Latin America, wherever else. But that expropriation of the third world that's been going on for 400 years brings us to another revelation, namely that the third world is not poor. You don't go to poor countries to make money. There are very few poor countries in this world. Most countries are rich. The Philippines are rich. Brazil is rich. Mexico is rich. Chile is rich. Of capitalism.
That's one of my favorites of all time, and it's a great edit, whoever put that together with that old footage. Someone says, the miracle of compound interest. Yes, what a great miracle that is. You know, today when I was setting up a repayment plan for my student loans, They were like, do you want to compound it? And I don't know how I didn't know what this meant, compounding your debt. They're like, we can compound it. And I'm like, what's compounding it? And they're like, that's when you take out another loan to pay off your existing loan. And I literally laughed in the lady's face. I was like, no. Like, that's a nice little scam you got going, though. I'll take out another loan and add more interest and freaking be $12 million in debt by the time I'm 40. Ridiculous. The miracle of interest. Did something else happen? Kyle Kalinske said it was a targeted assassination. He uploaded it today. Is he talking about something new?
Up, y'all. So,
But yeah, rest in peace, Parenti, a hero. We'll never forget you, and we will carry on the lessons that you taught us and teach them to the younger generations as well.
video just came out of Alex Preddy, and it was...
Sorry, someone says, just learn from me, you can't owe money you don't plan to pay back. Well, the Trump administration just passed a bill that says they can garnish your wages now if you don't pay your student loans. And for me, when I got fired from the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, potentially for political reasons, they were very concerned about my TikTok all the time. When I got fired, the explanation for why I got fired said N/A for not available. So they couldn't give a single reason. That was where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So I left the school and they continued charging me tuition even though I didn't sign up for any classes, and they promised me that I wouldn't owe anything. When I left, that was the last thing they ever said to me was like, at least you won't owe any debt. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks guys. Fuck you. Fucking idiots. Loser PMC liberal university. Fuck you. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I'm not still bitter about it at all. Anyways, the lady who fired me also, she was hated at the university. Everyone hated her, and then she got fired after we did. So, peace out, evil woman. Anyways, they continued charging me tuition even though they promised they wouldn't. And when I didn't pay it, they put a lien on my freaking bank account and wiped out my bank account, took $3,000 out of it, every penny that was in there, and set me at $0. So as an adult who has to pay rent and bills, I had $0 because this piece of shit university that fired me for no reason stole my money because they asked they're connected to the state government. And they asked the government to go in and take my money. And I fought them, and I told them I'm going to file a fucking complaint with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau or whatever the hell it's called, and I'm getting my money back, and they refunded me. But they can go into your bank account and just take it, even if they promise you wouldn't be charging tuition. God, that university is literally the devil. Don't send your kids there. Anyways, let's see what this is about.
I guess a few days before he was murdered, and he is protesting on the sidewalk with a bunch of other protesters, and I gotta be honest with you, he's being based as shit. He is screaming at them, he's saying, fuck you, screaming at the ICE criminals, fuck you, get the fuck out of Minneapolis, you guys are fucking criminals, every decision you've made in your life is fucking shit. Like, he was going in. But, like, all of it perfectly legal, perfectly acceptable, just being a douchebag to the criminals. That's, that's good.
That's why they killed him, dude. That's probably why they killed him. These people, think about these people joining ICE, dude. It's like referees in wrestling. No offense if you're a wrestling referee. Thanks for liking, Richie. What's up, brother? Nothing against wrestling referees, but one time a wrestling ref literally told my dad, when I put on that whistle, I just feel this sense of power. And my dad laughed. And the referee was looking at him stone-faced. And my dad's like, oh, you're serious. Like, you're a person who feels like you have no control in your life. You don't have much going on for yourself. And when you put on that whistle, you get to be a big, strong man for a while. And that's these people joining ICE. It's people who couldn't make it as a cop or in the military, but want to wave a gun around and feel like an action hero. This is one thing that people say when they do ride-alongs with police. They realize that a lot of police want to be action heroes. Like, they'll get a call for something that's not that urgent, and they'll fly to it at 100 miles an hour so they can feel like they're in a movie. Right, and they I have a friend who's a cop who I know through wrestling, and he's like, dude, the people I work with are constantly escalating situations that they don't need to escalate because they want to feel like big men. Like, these ICE agents are the most insecure, closeted, homosexual, conservative, Trump sycophants of all time. Who are targeting people because we know that they're targeting people ideologically. They were getting hit lists from the Canary Mission, this ultra-Zionist stalker organization. So, yeah, I could totally see the kind of personality type of someone who would join ICE shooting someone because they taunted them. These guys are so insecure and they feel like they're big men with their guns. This is also splitting the Trump administration, by the way. Trump is like backpedaling and pulling out of Minneapolis, and Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller were like, no, this is good. And I think there's a divide there right now because Trump sees his popularity ratings tanking.
Good thing in my book. And they get in their car to leave, and so he runs up and like kicks the bumper of the car, and you can hear it. The video is from like, I want to say like 40, 50 yards away. Somebody else is recording, but you could hear him clearly, and you see him run up and like kick the back of their Tahoe or their Suburban. So they stop, they get out, and then they just fucking beat his ass. Like, and it was like he got jumped. So this is like he got jumped multiple times, and this time it was pretty severe. Like 4 of them, 5 of them get out.
I would like to play the video, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think we might get taken down, so we can just watch this.
Out, walk up to him, start beating his ass, and then they just casually get back in their car and leave. And that's where he wound up breaking the rib, which people were talking about the other day, that he had a broken rib. So, look, the thing that everybody's talking about now, which I think is perfectly fair, was this a targeted assassination? Because what ICE has been doing, as everybody's seen, they go around recording everybody. They go around recording all the observers, all the protesters, and
putting them
some of them slipped up and literally
putting them on domestic terrorist lists, or saying that they're going.
He said, like, yeah, the reason I'm recording you is because now you're going in a nice little database where you're going to be considered a domestic terrorist.
Palantir.
And the person was like, what the, like?
We can't have socialism because it's
about?
authoritarian, but Palantir gets to keep you on a list if you're anti-ICE.
Why? Because I'm like, using my constitutional rights? You guys are insane. But that's what they're doing. And we know that from Ken Klippenstein and NSPM 7, and like, they're actually doing it. Anybody who like opposes the regime is a domestic terrorist. So stop and think about it. You got a guy who's protesting.
And that's always been my thing with ICE, man. I don't even think Trump cares that much about the deportations. I think he just wants to make a show of it. But the issue is that they're like an ideological army. They're like Trump sycophants who are explicitly targeting people that are critical of the existing regime. And if this country devolves into civil war, which is probably the direction we're heading, these ICE agents are going to be warriors on behalf of warlord Trump. That's what we're looking at. And there were moves made by the Trump administration to privatize ICE so they wouldn't have as many restrictions on what they could do. Literally, they tried to privatize ICE. So literally, it's like becoming Trump's own private army. And I don't even think Trump cares about illegal immigration that much. I think he cares about having his own, being a warlord, essentially.
Yelling at and demeaning these ICE thugs. He gets jumped by them, gets his rib broken. He's out there a couple days later. They have his name. They know he's in a database. And then they roll up on him and basically assault him with pepper spray when he's trying to protect a woman who they shove. And they murder him. Like 8 of them are on top of him, jumping him like they're in a gang. And then they murder him. I think
Yeah, now they've been put on leave. Like, so what happened was Kristi Noem came out and said it was all good. You know, we support our ICE agents. And then Trump started backpedaling. And we already know Kristi Noem is on thin ice with the Trump administration. She's been an abject failure. She's a dumb bimbo. Like, you can literally just hear her talk and know that she is a dumb woman. Like, her brain isn't all there. She's like a Fox News robot who just reads off a script. Very, very unintelligent person. Like, I'll give credit where credit was due. When you have an evil person who is intelligent, like Obama or Henry Kissinger, right? You could be evil and still be smart. You just use your smarts for the wrong thing. Kristi Noem is a dumb, dumb woman. So she came out in support of this, and it turns out that that probably came from Stephen Miller, who's like the most openly, he's basically like an open fascist. Listen to the guy's speech. Listen to the guy's speeches. They're very, very fash-coded, legitimately. He's the Weasley little dork who would be a fascist. It's like Nick Fuentes clone. But a lot of people think that he's the one who told Kristi Noem to come out and say that, because Kristi Noem is literally has the brain of a dog, and will just do whatever her master says. But then Trump started backpedaling and said, we're going to pull out of Minneapolis. We're going to put these ICE agents who did this on leave. And Kristi Noem was like apologizing. And then Stephen Miller said it was the Border Patrol agents who told him to say that. But I don't buy that at all. I think the directive to support these ICE agents 100% came from Stephen Miller. And when Trump saw his popularity ratings down in the low 30s, he decided to try and backpedal, but it's too late, man. They're in shambles right now. This whole fake-ass anti-establishment administration is just cucks to the elite, disgusting freaks, pedophiles.
Occam's razor at this point is that this was a targeted assassination, right? Like, is it just a coincidence that they beat his ass and broke his ribs a few days before?
No chance.
But then, by the way, so this gets even darker.
Okay.
So you guys know how Trump was trying to like soften his rhetoric compared to J.D. Vance and Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem, and Trump didn't like don't call him an assassin, don't call him a domestic terrorist. This is an unfortunate event that happened, but I didn't like that he had a gun. Well, now that video came out, yet again, right wingers are telling on themselves, and now they're all going like, see, some peaceful protester here, and Trump reposted a tweet that called him a domestic terrorist. So now Trump has done a 180, and he's going, yeah, fuck it, like he's a domestic terrorist. Guys, this is who they are.
Their whole, oh my gosh. Their whole thing a few years ago was supporting Kyle Rittenhouse, who showed up to a protest with an AR out in the open. But now this male nurse is the devil because he had a gun holstered, a legal firearm in its holster. Like, these people don't care about anything. They have no principles. The elites, a lot of regular Trump supporters do. Well, most of them have turned on him at this point. There are the cultist sections of his base, but these elites don't care about anything. These Republican grifters, these conservative commentators like Matt Walsh and them, they don't believe in anything. They are human scum. They're a bunch of failed Hollywood actors like Michael Knowles and Ben Shapiro who weren't good enough to get a job in Hollywood, so they became actors for the Republican Party who will just say anything. By the way, I think there's a video of Michael Knowles kissing a dude when he was trying to be an actor, which is just hilarious that he's now this conservative guy. Because he's such a feminine-looking man, Michael Knowles is. It makes perfect sense. Like, the only person more feminine than him is Nick Fuentes. All these freaking failed actors. Interesting. Interesting stuff. I got a couple more stories, but nothing as important as what we've covered already. This was kind of funny. There was an Israeli woman who was reported dead on Israeli Channel 12. and they said that she was executed by the Iranian regime. And then she responded by posting a video and said, "I'm here, I'm alive, sitting at home. In an hour and a half, I'm going to training." So they falsely reported that this woman was murdered by Iran, which is happening all the time now. I saw, actually, my least favorite person in the wrestling community. His name's Pat Mineo. He's just like a drama vulture who sucks. A lot of people hate him. He has me blocked. But anyways, he posted about some Iranian wrestler who was supposedly arrested and tortured. And maybe it's true, but I'm waiting to see the evidence because I don't trust that guy as far as I can throw him. And it sounds like a psyop to me using the wrestling community, but we'll see. Hopefully that wrestler is actually okay. But we could find out that he was like an ISIS guy too, you know? You never know. So that happened at Khabib Nurmagomedov's gym. Like, one of the fighters turned out to be connected to some extremist group, and Russia punished him. So that's funny. That just goes to show you how much they lie. These pundits who mythologize CK are smelling like psyop, yeah. The ones who try to mythologize him and make him seem like he was always pro-Israel. North Korean necromancy, yes. I think Rittenhouse is calling Alex Preddy a terrorist. Dude, let's see. It's so funny that Kyle Rittenhouse is now trying to be a Republican pundit after everything that happened. He's like trying to grift so hard, but he's just like this annoying little fat kid. He's this annoying little fat kid who no one wants to listen to, so he can't get an audience. And every time he tweets something, it's just a bunch of people saying, "Shut the hell up. Nobody cares what you have to say. You showed up to a protest with an AR and shot some people who attacked you. Congrats. That doesn't mean we want to hear your take on every political issue." Oh, thank you, Opera. Follow up on my last super chat. I could use help with ACP community work they're doing without signing up for anything. Sweet, yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility. Do stay tuned to what we're doing. Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's see what this little tub of lard is up to. Kyle Rittenhouse, 2A. He's got the Second Amendment in his bio here. There he is at Turning Point USA. Dude, he just looks so goofy. The beard helps him a little bit, but just a little fat kid. Carry everywhere. It is your right. Okay. The left will rage about the death of communist Alex Pretty. But when they were... I don't know if he was a communist, was he? But when they were... where were they when Biden's ATF assassinated innocent Brian Malinowski in his home? Like, bro, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same... You're accusing the left of only caring about certain people being killed? What the hell are you doing? You're saying, no, only care about the people I care about. Only care about it if it's a black person killing a white person. Like, you're doing the same thing as leftists who don't care about, or who justify it when conservative-leaning people are killed. The Pew Pew Jew. I need 7K for this post. LOL. Okay. Look how few likes he gets. Like, his commentator career is just failing. Retarded communist Mark Ruffalo is helping his comrades organize. The No Kings protest was created by the Walton family, the owners of Walmart. It's the most capitalist protest of all time. God, this kid is so stupid and fat. Let's see here. ICE messed up, but I don't blame them. Okay, so he's saying ICE messed up. He's taking the Trump position. They messed up, but I support it. Petty should have stayed home. Bruh. Bruh. You went to a protest with an AR. Oh my god. What the hell? We live in the Twilight Zone. These guys claim to support free speech. He was just asserting his First Amendment right to free speech. He's allowed to protest. That's protected by the Constitution. You have the Second Amendment in your literal username. The First Amendment protects political speech. You say he shouldn't have gone to the protest. You drove across state lines to go to a protest with an AR. What the fuck, dude? We live in the most retarded timeline. Oh my goodness. It's just like unreal. You'd think he would just keep his mouth shut about this. He'd be like, well, you know, I have my opinion on this issue, but I'm not going to criticize this guy for going to a protest with a pistol, because I went to a protest with an AR and killed 2 people. What the fuck? Dude. Sometimes I can't believe that we live in real life. Shouldn't impede law enforcement. You can carry at a protest. Okay. There you go. I'm not a hypocrite. I said you can carry at a protest. Communists are creating chaos to push their agenda. Okay. So his whole thing now is calling all Democrats communists. Very smart. Very smart. Dude, he booted the shit out of that. Oh, here's the video.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man.
He booted that thing. Look, boom! Gosh, damn. Yeah, that's probably why they killed him, huh? I think ICE should unmask. True. Comparing these situations is equal parts stupidity and dishonest. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can't compare them because one guy had a pistol that was holstered and one guy had an AR out in the open. Interesting how ICE agents only targeted one. God. The president reportedly asserted that Alex Preddy had a very dangerous gun, a dangerous and unpredictable gun, and added, it's a gun that goes off when people don't know it. What? Did he actually say that? What does this mean? Trump just nuked SIG. What? He had a gun. Only criminals carry guns on our streets. We need law and order. Like, dude. How is this real? How are they this stupid, dude? They're not even trying anymore. How does anyone in the world still support Trump? You can't carry guns on our streets? What happened to the Second Amendment? What happened to all your donations from the NRA? What happened to the right to bear arms shall not be infringed? This is all you guys have been talking about for the last few years, and I agree with you on this issue. I don't think they should take our guns. But you supported a guy carrying an AR at a protest, and now you're lecturing people who you don't like for having legal concealed carry. Wow. What the fuck is this? It turned out to be fake? Okay. Okay. So it's not that bad. But he did say he shouldn't have had a gun. He did say that in an interview before realizing how insane that sounds. From my cold, dead hands, LOL, yep. The Port ICE agents, sure. Rittenhouse was illegally carrying, was he? I thought he had that legally. Oh, it was illegal, but a judge deemed it legal and dismissed a misdemeanor charge. An exception for the statute for individuals 16 or older allowed possession of long guns that were not short-barreled. So they said it wasn't short-barreled, so he should be allowed. Interesting. That picture of Rittenhouse crying on the stand is so funny, too. You know, I don't know. I don't even want to dig up the Rittenhouse situation and give my opinion on it. Like, he was attacked. But obviously he was there with the AR to be a provocateur and protect private property and stuff. But, you know, for him to then criticize this guy for having illegal concealed carry is freaking nuts. Absolutely nuts. George Zimmerman tried to do the same thing. He tried to become like a political commentator, and he was like the most insufferable human being alive that nobody wanted to listen to him. Same exact thing with Rittenhouse. I wouldn't even be talking about you, Kyle, if you didn't become a grifter and friggin' speak at TPUSA and use the fact that you shot 2 people or 3 people or whatever to try and launch your political career, as if we need to know what you have to say, as if you know anything about politics, as if you've ever read a book in your life. I wouldn't even be talking about you. Let's just pull that up real quick.
I step towards the Duramax, and as I'm stepping forward, I believe his name is now Joshua Zeminski.
This is the face of the masculine Republicans. The U.S. is facing a civil war. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Leon. Totally agree. I think that's where we're headed for real. No hyperbole. When you see, like, Tim Walz, like Gavin Newsom and Trump arguing over the guard. When you see law enforcement in Minneapolis clashing with ICE. This is what I mean. We're like in a civil war. ICE would be the ideological army of Trump. We're already seeing like those dividing lines being drawn.
He steps towards me with a pistol in his hand, and as I'm walking towards to put out the fire, I drop the fire extinguisher and I take a step back.
Okay. When you step back from Mr. Zeminski, what's your plan?
My plan is to get out of that situation and go back north down Sheridan Road to where the car source lot number 2 was.
And did you get back? Were you able to go in a northerly direction?
I wasn't.
Who will be the sides of the Civil War? It'll be like the Republican-Democrat divide that kind of kicks it off. The polarization between the two. But there will be many sides. You know, there will be communist sides. It'll be kind of like, I think, an era of warlords for a while. Until somebody can unite the country and rebuild a prosperous socialist America, a multi-ethnic and harmonious America. There will be white nationalist sides, there will be like neo-Nazi sides for sure. There will be all sorts of different, like, warlord groups, and we need to get ready for that so that we can save our country and our people.
Describe what happens.
Once I take that step back, I look over my shoulder, and Mr. Rosenbaum was now running from my right side, and I was cornered from in front of me.
What do you guys think, real tears or
Mr.
Erika Kirk
Zeminski.
tears?
And there were three people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
I don't know, is this a normal PTSD response or is this fake? I don't know, it's just funny because he calls everyone else a retarded communist now and acts like such a tough guy, and everybody just responds with pictures of him crying. Looks fake to me. I don't see any water coming out of his eyes. It just sounds kind of forced, doesn't it? That's real? He really believes he's going to jail? Yeah, that could be true too. That could be correct.
That's what I...
But him believing he was going to jail could also be the reason that he faked it, because he wanted to win the jury over.
That's where I run.
That part sounded kind of... Look how he looks. Oh, that part sounded kind of real.
Just taking time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break about 10 minutes, and please don't talk about the case during the break. Read, watch, or listen to any kind of trap.
Who knows? But screw that kid. Trying to lecture us about politics like he knows a damn thing. Where do these people get the confidence? Do you guys see that video of Asmongold admitting that he doesn't read or research anything? Alright, one more video for today. This is too good. I made a TikTok about it already, but this is just too funny. What the hell? What did I just open on TikTok? What in the damn hell is my boy
all
Lee
funny
sharing?
games until it ain't. And the way that AI is starting to master doing.
What the? Oh yeah, that guy's jacked. I'm so much bigger than that now. I've put on so much muscle since I've. Let's see. Gosh, look at my views, bro. Larry Ellison cooked this app. Oh my goodness. Thank God you all follow me on YouTube and like and share the stream, because TikTok is cooked. Let me find this. This one.
Guys, this dude Asmongold is an insane narcissist, and he cannot stop embarrassing himself. He just gave maybe the best example of the Dunning-Kruger effect that I've ever seen.
You openly admitted you never do research or read articles outside of Twitter. How can you shamelessly tell others to read more? I don't need to understand whatever article you want me to read. All I need to understand is human psychology and incentives. And incentives and human psychology are the deciding factors of how people will behave. I don't need to read your little special book or your Wikipedia article or anything else besides that. None of that stuff matters. What matters fundamentally is how do people act, how do people think, and how do people respond to incentives. If you can understand that, then nothing else matters. It's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple, bro. I pretty much understand everything. It's literally a middle schooler. These guys' brains are stunted from sitting in roach-filled houses and playing video games all day as adults and never doing anything productive or beneficial to society. That's what happens. Your brain gets stuck in literally middle school level of development. I understand human psychology, bro. I'm just different than you. I think on a different plane. I understand human interests. So much so that I don't need to read any books to understand the conditions that humans are actually operating within. I just understand their psychology as this universal abstract thing. Bro, you can't understand a human psychology and their interest unless you also understand the conditions, the environment that those humans are acting within. And the best way to understand that is not playing video games and having roaches crawl all over you. It is, or living and breathing in mold, it is reading. That's why journalists and people who talk about politics for a living, like me, read a lot. That's why I've got my bookcase back here. So you can see that I actually know my shit. I actually spend time reading and studying this stuff on a very deep level. I just understand human psychology, bro. It's pretty simple. If you understood human psychology, you would understand the psychology behind the people in Palestine who decided to take up arms and fight for their family and their community and their sovereignty. But because you don't understand the situation at all, because you just play video games all day, you don't understand why they would stand up and fight, and you condemn them. It's unreal, the level of arrogance. Narcissism is... I've been saying this a lot, or I was saying this a lot a while back. Narcissism isn't just something that you're born with in every case. Narcissism is ingrained into people by our hyper-individualistic society, which produces roach kings like this. We can see what I had to say about it.
It's pretty simple, bud. I'm all-knowing, so I don't need to read. Like, bro, how are you supposed to understand human psychology if you don't first understand the conditions in which those humans are operating? If you actually did, you might understand the psychology behind people in Gaza who decide to take up arms and fight for their family, because they've been watching their community get decimated with bombs for the last 70 years. But you don't even try to understand those people because you don't actually understand human psychology or what's going on in the world. You just yap about it confidently online because you have what we would call a narcissistic personality type. Even though you have minimal knowledge of the subject, your ego leads you to believe you're an expert who should be lecturing others. When in reality, everyone just thinks you're a complete dumbass who believes their own bullshit.
Why is he even talking about politics? Like, no more Destiny, no more Asmongold. You guys read Wikipedia and you play video games. Shut the hell up. It just goes to show what my dad always told me, that if you say anything confidently, some people will be stupid enough to believe you. You could say that eating poop is good and everybody should eat poop for their health. And if you said it confidently, like Asmongold and Destiny because they're narcissists, some people would believe you, even though you know nothing, and you're telling people to eat poop. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to put these people in a gulag. Like, on God, they just need to be sent to the fields. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I want a cultural revolution. I know China looks back at the Cultural Revolution and regrets a lot of it, but it was good. You need it. Like, these people like Asmongold, they... Not only do they need to be forced to sit down and study and read, but, like, they need to do hard labor. Like, they've been playing video games for too long, and it's, like, literally started to rot them on the inside. And I like video games, but... If you're playing like 11 hours a day and breathing in mold and living in filth, like, you need to go bale some hay. Like, you're devolving as a human being. Gulags are an act of compassion. On God, like, that would be kind. Gulags are rehabilitation through labor. Some of these people probably deserve worse, but we'll give them the gulags because we're kind, compassionate people who want to rehabilitate them and turn them into actual men or actual upstanding women. Labor for the cause was good for the soul. Exactly. Exactly. It would fix their rotten souls. I'm not even kidding when I say this. I'm dead ass, dude. I mean, I used to be a chubby kid who was addicted to video games until I joined wrestling and started doing a lot of hard work. And it transformed me. It transformed me physically and transformed the way I think for the better. And it's not like I was being exploited and having money taken for me. I was fighting for a team and fighting for what I thought, what was the common good then to me. The common good of the team, my friends, my best friends. So, yeah, these people need some rehabilitation through labor. We literally need a cultural revolution. Like, kids are growing up and looking up to Asmongold. Has there ever been a better example that we need a cultural revolution? Like, our culture is sick. Che Guevara had some quote like, capitalist culture has gone as far as it could possibly go. It's already done all of the good that it could, and now it's just dead and corrupt and disgusting. And instead of elevating the best people in our society to the top so that they can be mentors to the youth, it elevates literally the worst people. Like the worst possible people you could even imagine in your brain. Like Asmongold. I don't know if I could invent a political enemy like Asmongold if I tried. Like, yeah, all our political enemies are breathing in mold and living in roaches while they play 12 hours of video games a day and talk about how they don't need to read. That doesn't even sound real. That sounds like something I made up as a straw man to smear our enemies, but no, that's a real guy. And there's two of them. There's another one called Destiny. And he gives speeches to the IDF telling them how to hide their war crimes. You've convinced me, Eddie. American Cultural Revolution. Let's do it, bro. I'll put these people through physical training. They can come into the wrestling room with me. I will beat them down in a safe, healthy environment. And I will teach them respect, like Khabib taught respect to Conor McGregor. I should make that into a meme with CapCut. Like me on top of Asmongold. Talk now! I am going to teach him respect. Change his face. Did Whitney Cummings lash out at Miss Rachel? Oh my gosh, we might have to watch one more video today. What happened here? Whitney Cummings is this comedian who bots her views. She has like 4 comments on all of her podcast episodes and literally like 1.2 million views. It's an open secret that she bots them. She's extremely insecure about her success or lack thereof as a comedian. So there's a little bit of backstory, and she's like narcissistic person. Eddie, no, stop, have mercy. Sorry. We need to make and demonstrate better, superior culture. Hell yeah, yes. I just want to see if she attacked Miss Rachel. Hold up.
Powerful and inescapable that people have to try and take me down. You can't be taken down if you're down. So I'm like, I'm up. What? It also, dorks, if you're going through old episodes and cutting them up to make me look bad, you're just making my numbers go up because you're watching it. A hate watch is a watch, babe. Like, everybody go watch her podcast.
They're so mad because, oops. They're so mad because the Rogan sphere is becoming hated because they got super political even though they didn't know what they were talking about and promised everybody that Trump was going to be, you know, this anti-establishment hero, and then he turned out to be pedophile defender #1. So there are all these commentary channels like this one, Too Lazy to Try it's called. It's my favorite podcast commentary channel. We talk about it all the time on the show. They are getting millions of views by calling out Rogan and all of the comedians under Rogan's umbrella. these political grifters. Oh, Ash, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Thank you. Enjoy the perks that come with that. Make sure to read Carlos's books, which are usually on my shelf, but I have them here right now. Also, I got this for Christmas from my mom. Thank you, Mom. I love you. Anyways, so all of these accounts are blowing up, criticizing Rogan and the Rogan sphere, and they are so mad about it. They just cope and cope and cope, and they cannot take criticism. Everything is, these people are jealous. Everyone's jealous of me. Anybody who hates me is jealous. Nobody has legitimate criticism. And the thing is, these commentary channels like Too Lazy to Try have legitimate criticisms. They are former fans of Joe Rogan who have turned on him, just like me, because they've seen the corrupt Peter Thiel, Elon Musk puppet that he's become. I used to watch every single episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. When I was in high school, I worked at a golf course, and all I would do was listen to Joe Rogan episodes all day. He was one of the people who inspired me to start becoming more of an intellectual and believing that I could be a combat sports athlete and a thinker. And, I was a genuine fan for a long time. Even during COVID, I agreed with a lot of what he was saying, being critical of the COVID establishment, the healthcare establishment. But now he is this disgusting hack, this liar, and a boomer-brained guy who believes AI Facebook memes like a grandpa. And it's just embarrassing. And then he, when people criticize him, they're all jealous. They're jealous of me. They're all so jealous. Bro, no, we're your former fans who hate you now. And you can't course correct because you're incapable of listening to criticism.
Podcast and see why it doesn't deserve the views it deserves.
All right, so it's good to see things are going well for Whitney Cummings. I mean, this lady's always going through something. Like a month ago, people made the observation that her podcast views are clearly inflated. So then
Look at her views, bro. 2.1 million views, 1.2 million views. Go look at Whitney Cummings' YouTube channel when you get a chance, and then read the comments. There are way less comments than views, like an insanely disproportionate amount, which is obvious sign that she's botting her views. But then all of the comments are just people saying that you're botting your views. Because she doesn't have a single fan. It's just people making fun of her. Whoa, these people, these comedians are so narcissistic, which is the death knell for a comedian. You have to be like Stavros Halkias. You have to be self-deprecating. You have to be like Shane Gillis. You can't be a narcissistic douche who thinks you're like a hotshot celebrity. If you're a comedian, that's not funny. That makes people hate you. And that's the kind of comedians that Rogan has promoted, this Bert Kreischer, Whitney Cummings narcissism.
And 20 minutes crashing out over it on her show. It was wild. She's somehow more unhinged than I thought. She also always argues with people in the comments now and blocks them if they're too mean. Like on Instagram recently, she went over words she auto-blocks, and the list was hilarious. I guess you can't comment old, ugly, busted, Botox, annoying, and shrill. Surprisingly, she didn't have unfunny on there, but maybe she's just used to that at this point.
You do need to auto-block words that filter out certain comments. I feel like not enough people talk about this. When people talk about all these negative comments and negative comments, being a woman rules. There's also some memes that I've had to auto-block because losers try to drag me into their drama, and I'm not.
That's the other thing, of course. She says it's because she's a woman. It's like, dude, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying you don't face any sexism, but that has nothing to do with why people have turned on you and the other Rogan sphere comedians. It's because you guys aren't that funny. Joe Rogan propped you up with his podcast, and now you have these lucrative careers, and you're always talking about the Rolexes that you buy and the nice cars you drive when you're supposed to be a self-deprecating comedian. Because you weren't a comedian in the first place. You were just propped up by Joe Rogan, which isn't even working anymore. Joe Rogan doesn't have the same power to prop up comedians because everyone's turned on him because he's a freaking hack.
Trying to participate. So there's some other specific ones. You might have your own specific ones. I'm telling you, block comments.
So then after she got done talking about how people are too mean to her on the internet, she decided to insult this kids YouTuber, Miss Rachel, which she immediately regretted and deleted her post about it because she got a ton of backlash for it, and now has been trying to do damage control, which of course doesn't seem to be helping. So I'm not that familiar with Miss Rachel. I just know she makes kids educational videos and she's really popular. She also is outspoken about what's going on in Gaza, and I saw recently she was in some controversy because she liked a tweet that said "Free America from the Jews." Then she deleted it, apologized, and said it was an accident. So I think Whitney saw this.
That actually did seem like an accident. You guys know I liked one time on Twitter a white nationalist like fan edit, and it was when I had this really glitchy phone that would glitch out, especially when I was working out with my phone in my pocket, and I like immediately deleted it and apologized when I realized. But of course, all of our political enemies claimed it was proof I was a white nationalist, so I felt for Miss Rachel on that one. I know she's not a genuine anti-Semite. That was definitely an accidental thing. It happens, man. We've all butt dialed someone before.
And thought maybe people are turning on her and saw this as an opportunity to go after her. Like Whitney, it seems like, already found her annoying. And maybe it's because of her take on Israel. I know Whitney claims to be Jewish. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But either way, Whitney said, Miss Rachel was always off base, dude. Why does she talk to kids like they're deaf morons? Also, if you need to dress like a toddler to trick them into liking you, that's information to give to a mental health professional.
Yeah, it's about Israel. I was thinking maybe for a second it wasn't about Israel. No, it is. It is. Read this. She was always off base, dude. You're mad that she's anti-Zionist, and you're a Zionist cuck who everybody hates. And that's why you got 1.8 thousand replies and only 500 likes on this. Just so out of touch. These people are supposed to be comedians. They can't be relatable to anybody. They're just Joe Rogan's like pets. You know this is about Israel. Read that. She was always off base about what? About her content for children, where she speaks in a child's voice because she's talking to children. She talks like any normal person does when they're talking to a baby. Like even I do that. I'm the freaking big masculine guy, whatever, and I'll be like, ooh, 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 gaga. You know, they're cute. You love babies. You love toddlers. They're so funny and cute, and you just want to take care of them and see them grow up and be healthy and like squeeze their chubby cheeks. I love working with kids. And I talk to them, you know, sometimes you're not really supposed to do the baby voice all the time because you're supposed to get them used to hearing an adult's voice, but whatever. It's children's content. She's mad that Miss Rachel is pro-Gaza, pro-Palestine. Her stuff is for 2 to 3 year olds. Exactly. She's just talking like a parent talks to their kid.
I think Whitney also posted a video about it too, but I don't think anyone saved it before it was deleted. Once she started getting backlash, she deleted everything, but people saved this post and were sharing it, and she was getting so much shit for it. Then she started coping, which obviously did not help at all, because it seems like she's still kind of being passive-aggressive.
The only reason Whitney Cummings attacked Miss Rachel is because she thought it would work. True. And the reason you attack me is you know it will work. I think it's okay for parents to have different takes on programming kids and comics, making a joke. Now an attack is a little much, but okay. It was an attack. You said she's always been off base. And she's like, needs to be in a mental institution. How is that not an attack? Take some accountability. Holy shit. I hate celebrities, bro. I hate celebrities so much. I hate them. Cultural revolution now. Whitney Cummings in Gulag now.
About it. She says she didn't know that Miss Rachel is specifically for neurodivergent kids. Like now Whitney understands that's why she talks to kids like they're dumb.
Every day we stray further from God. You attacked her because you didn't know her content was for neurodivergent kids? These celebrities just think they can use the word neurodivergent and it'll get them out of hot water and get people on their side. Brother, this isn't TikTok in 2016. You can't just say the word neurodivergent to deflect criticism. Like, really, you really didn't think people would see through this? You really thought people would believe this? Like, oh, Whitney Cummings attacked her, but then regretted it when she found out she was for making content for neurodivergent people. You felt bad about attacking her because you got backlash for it. Because you realized that everybody sided with her. That's why you're apologizing. Don't make up this story. Just say, I messed up. People would respect you more. Instead, you make up this story about how you're, now so sorry because you're the crusader for the neurodivergent. Good Lord.
Morons, and that's why she decided to delete her post. But apparently that's not even true, and people keep trying to tell her, like, no, her content's for everybody, but she doesn't seem to want to listen, because she just keeps repeating the same thing about how she didn't realize Miss Rachel's content.
Someone says, I literally wore overalls today at work. I teach 2nd grade. Nice. Overalls are one of my favorite. I have a story about that, actually. I don't know if I should tell it or not here, but I love overalls, and this one time, there was a girl at a bar wearing overalls, and I said, are you wearing overalls to a bar? That's sick. And her friends, like, jumped me, like, get the fuck out of here. Don't make fun of what she's wearing. She looks amazing. Like that. That's what I was saying. Like, I was agreeing with you. Like, bullshit, you are blah, 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 blah. So I went and I got her 2 vodka lemonades, because that's what every girl likes. And I gave her the vodka lemonades, and I said, your overalls are actually sick. I meant that as a compliment. Your friends fucking suck. And then I left the bar and walked home. I was so mad. I was like trying to pay someone a compliment on their overalls, and I got attacked. Every day we stray further from God.
Content was specifically for neurodivergent kids. Also, she acts like she's in this tough position being a comedian and a mom, and she's having a tough time trying to balance it. Like she said, I'm new to being a mom and a comedian.
That's the kind of stuff...
That's the kind of stuff that I do at the bar. Compliment people on their overalls in a non-sexual way and then leave. If I was Andrew Tate or Clavicular or Nick Fuentes, I would stand against the wall on my phone and talk about the possibility of maybe potentially getting with girls. Did anyone watch that live stream? It was so awkward. They were just standing against the wall at the club, not even interacting or having fun, and then just playing Hitler songs. Thanks for subscribing, Crusader.
I'll probably make more mistakes. I'm not surprised when Reddit bros attack me anymore, but the mom space is a curveball. I'll be more careful and get thicker skin because I know how exhausted moms are and how precious your kids' heroes are. And she also said I have misophonia and get overstimulated, so I don't do well when people are very loud in my face, and my son doesn't respond well to it. So it's crazy to hear Whitney Cummings say she doesn't do well with people that...
It was neurodivergency. It was misophonia. I'm neurodivergent and misophonic. That's why I attacked a children's YouTuber for criticizing Israel. Alright, I don't know how much I can do this. Let's just play a little bit more because this is funny.
Are very loud in your face when that's exactly how she is. And same thing with Bert Kreischer, who she's good friends with, and most of her comedian friends. So I don't know what the hell she's talking about. She also said some kids entertainers do this and it's frustrating, but I didn't even know Miss Rachel was specifically for neurodivergent kids. And once I learned that, I took it down. I made a mistake as an entertainer, but y'all attacked me on purpose. And again, Whitney said, I made a TikTok about Miss Rachel. My son and I don't do well with loud, intense talking, so it's not working in my house, even though that sounds perfect for her house. But she said, maybe that will change. I also have notes for Winnie the Pooh. I'm new to the mom space, so thanks for your patience. And of course now she's trying to play the victim and act like everybody's coming after her for no reason. Like she posted this random message she got from somebody where they said, you are done. You have no idea what's coming. Watch yourself, Miss Girl. And then she said, not sure what else I can say, except I didn't know Miss Rachel was for neurodivergent kids, and I should have done more research. I've been doing videos on being a new parent and the things we watch. To give out my number and dox me and my kid isn't necessary, thanks. And also she's like, so nobody can...
She really struggles with handling backlash, which is not a great quality in a comedian, especially a shitty one. Oh, these people have the most narcissistic personalities. What did Cat Williams say? Joe Rogan don't want to talk to me. Joe Rogan's got 10 comedians who ain't ever been funny he want to push out. Exhibit A. Exhibit B being her loud, annoying, drunk friend, Bert Kreischer.
make fun of Miss Rachel, and she keeps bringing up how she criticized Winnie the Pooh as well, and people didn't care as much about that. So this crash out might be the funniest Whitney's ever been. Like, she definitely does not like Miss Rachel and wants to take shots at her, but now people are forcing her to walk it back and apologize, even though she doesn't seem to really feel bad about it, and kind of just seems to be mocking the people that are mad at her. So she should just double down at this point. Like, she also...
Yeah, honestly, double down. Say, no, I hate Miss Rachel because she's anti-Israel. Tell the truth. You'll at least have some Zionist friends then. If you try to act like, you know, if you lie and say all this nonsense about neurodivergent children or whatever and use them as a shield, dig the hole deeper. But that's been Whitney Cummings' whole career, if anybody knows her. She just digs the hole deeper and lies and lies. All right, little more. I love this guy. I love Too Lazy to Try. His, like, detached attitude and monotone voice, for me, is so perfect for this. Because he doesn't give a shit about any of these grifters. He just sees them all for what they are and calls them all out equally. And doesn't have an ego on him. Really love this channel. Here's the name of it. I watch every video, and I'm a Patreon subscriber, and I watch every video that he puts on Patreon. It's good to follow the culture, too. Like, this is how I know that a lot of people have turned on Joe Rogan from watching all these channels. Too Lazy to Try. I recommend.
She made a couple of TikToks about it, too.
If you think the Taylor Swift fans are intense, wait till the Miss Rachel fans come for you.
It'll help her bank account to just go full Zionist. Yeah, exactly, Casey. She'll just start collecting $7,000 for every Miss Rachel attack. There you go. Then you don't have to bot your YouTube views. You're welcome, Whitney Cummings, for the advice. I'll send a bill in the mail.
So I did take the video down that I made about Miss Rachel. I didn't know that she was for neurodivergent children. I just didn't know that. Some people told me that she is. Other people are saying, no, she's not. I don't know the answer. But, you know, I do think it's possible to be a parent and a comedian. Hopefully, we'll see. I was sort of...
It's amazing that she's still so bad at responding to controversy when she's done it so many times.
Audio cuts out, so she had to do another video. But in her original post about this, where she got a ton of backlash, she should have just made the point she was making at the end there, you know, about how Miss Rachel wears the same outfit and it's already hard enough for her to get her kid to change. Like, if she had just said that, I think people would have been fine. But instead, she had to say Miss Rachel needs to talk to a mental health professional, which I think is just projection. But Whitney's obviously having a tough time being a mom and a comedian, which makes sense because she's already barely a comedian. But this might be some of her best work. Like, you can tell she's being so passive-aggressive about it. And it almost feels like she's trying to troll the people that are mad at her. Like, in her second video, she's like, listen, I get it. If somebody made fun of Thomas the Tank Engine, I'd be pissed too. And at the end, she's like, I'm trying not to be funny in this video because I know I can't joke about this sacred person. So she definitely does not like Miss Rachel and doesn't understand why people are so upset with her. It's hilarious, you know, seeing her have to reluctantly...
It's because Miss Rachel stood up against genocide. That's why people are pissed, Whitney Cummings. That's what's at the core of this that you don't want to admit. You're pro-Israel, that's why you hate her, and you're being passive-aggressive. And the reason people are defending her is because she risked everything for Palestine. She risked her account, risked her safety, risked her audience, risked getting banned, because she genuinely cares about children. And she saw the young children that the Israeli government, which Whitney Cummings supports, were bombing and tearing limb from limb in Gaza. And even when she got all the backlash that we know comes with condemning Zionism, even when she got all of that rage and doxing and death threats, which is funny that Whitney Cummings is complaining about someone doxing her or whatever, as if Miss Rachel hasn't faced 20 times that for being outspoken on Gaza, 100 times that. There's been this flood of hatred, and she hasn't caved once. She has stood up for those kids and for those people fighting for their sovereignty and being bombed by this genocidal ethno-nationalist state with the backing of the U.S. empire. That's why people stand up for Miss Rachel, because she has courage and integrity, and she says what she thinks no matter the backlash. And that is everything you are not, Whitney Cummings, which is why it's so unsurprising that you're a fucking Zionist. That's how you all are.
Walk this back because people are mad at her.
I should have known more about Miss Rachel and the way that she speaks in her videos. It does overwhelm my son, but maybe he's just not old enough. I That's all I'm going to say. You know, he struggles with people being in his face really loud. I'm navigating him and what he reacts to, and I only have the experience of raising my son, so I'm sorry if it wasn't the same experience that you guys have had with Miss Rachel. And I'm sure that maybe when he gets a little bit older, he's going to be obsessed with her. Maybe I just showed it to him a little bit too young. I made videos before about other children's.
It's not about your son. It's not about your kids. It's about Gaza. Let's be real.
Cons. It didn't. They haven't gone this poorly. Like Winnie the Pooh, you know, not
Begging clueless celebs to stop weaponizing therapy speak. Literally, I didn't know that she was a neurodivergent, black and indigenous people of color, traumatized individual, and I wasn't looking at it through an intersectional lens. And that's why I attacked her. And I'm sorry. And if you hate me, you're sexist and against people who are neurodivergent and overstimulated. I just hate celebrities so much, dude. Gulag them all. Except for Miss Rachel. She can lead the gulags. Cultural revolution. Yep, that's the theme of today. Cultural revolution is the theme. She sounds like a shit mom. Is that too harsh? No, if you know a lot about Whitney Cummings, you can kind of assume that. I mean, maybe not, but who knows? Using your kid as a shield against public criticism isn't a great sign. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Alright guys, this was a great stream. I went 2 hours and 40 minutes somehow. My throat is on fire. I need to go take some Aleve and some NyQuil and go to bed. Well, maybe I should take one or the other. My poor liver. But thank you guys for hanging out. This was a great stream. Got a bunch of subscribers. Got a bunch of super chats. Thank you to all the super chatters. Got a big $50 super chat. Appreciate you for that. Next time, I will set up alerts so that when you guys send me super chats, you will see it on the screen. I'm really looking forward to getting that going. Really enjoying using this new Streamlabs software. Patreon.com/MidwesternMarks. In USSR in kindergarten, we were playing musical instruments, ironing, mending clothes, helping cook, doing laundry by hand, woodworking, etc. America infantilizes people. Very true. Very, very true. I agree with that for sure. In China, they do similar stuff. But thank you all for hanging out, especially those of you who made it through the whole stream. This is a great one. Feel free to clip it up. If you want to post some highlights or clips, maybe I'll make some or have the media team make some. But patreon.com/MidwesternMarks. I appreciate you all very much. We'll see you on the next one.
Stand up, all victims of oppression, for the tyrants fear your might. Don't cling so hard to your possessions, for you have nothing if you have no right. Let racist ignorance be ended, for respect makes the empires fall. Freedom is merely privilege extended, unless enjoyed by one and all. So come, brothers and sisters, for the struggle carries on. The International unites the world in song. So comrades, come rally, for this is the time and place. The international ideal unites the human race. Let no one build walls to divide us, walls of hatred nor walls of stone. Come greet the dawn and stand beside us. We'll live together or we'll die alone. In in our world poisoned by exploitation. Those who have taken, now they must give. And end the vanity of nations. We've but one earth on which to live. So come, brothers and sisters, for the struggle carries on. The International unites the world in the song. So comrades, come rally, for this is the time and place. The international ideal unites the human race. And so begins the final drama in the streets and in the fields. We stand unbowed before their armor. We defy their guns and shields. When we fight, provoked by their aggression, let us be inspired by life and love. For though they offer us concessions, change will not come